Okay, we want to know another family of numbers, which is called irrational numbers versus rational numbers, right? So here we have, so this expression will have two terms. We have 3 radical 6 with -4 radical 6. So let's understand the meaning behind it. 3 we know very well, right? So 3 multiplied by, so in between of two different numbers, different type of numbers, if there's no operation, that means multiplication. So 3 multiplied by this square root of 6. 3 is a rational number. Rational means which makes sense to human brains. But what is the square root of 6? Square root of 6 means something square, a number square equals to 6, right? Or if we square root of 6, if we square this number, indeed, we get 6. So square and square root, opposite operations, like a plus and minus, multiplication and division. So square root of 6 is irrational number because we have no idea which number squared to be 6. We can approximate, if we punch into a calculator give us 1 point, blah, 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 a decimal number. So we call this irrational numbers, which means, human brains do not really grasp these kind of numbers exactly yet. So it's irrational numbers to us. But it's a number. We just keep as it is. What is the square root of 6? Then you square to be 6. Here we have -4. -4 totally makes sense to us. It's a rational number. Then square root of 6 again. So those two we call like radicals. Like radicals, which means the radicals have the same radicand. In this case, the radicand is 6. 6 is called the radicand. So if two radical numbers have the same radicand and also the index is the same, because this is by default 2 here. The index is 2 here. The index can be any counting number. It could be 3, it could be 4. But usually when it's 2, by default, we don't bother to write it. So, in mathematics, we do a lot of by default. So those two are like radicals. So what do? We just subtract 3 minus 4. You think about 3x minus 4x, we get -x, right? Right. If we do have 3x minus 4x, we know that's -1x, but normally we don't bother to write the -1, just write the -x. Same idea. Okay, when we deal with irrational numbers, we do the same thing. So here, 3 minus 4, which is a -1, the answer for this equals to -1 square root of 6. Right? 1 multiply something doesn't really contribute anything to it. So we don't write it. We just write it as negative square root of 6. So this is how we combine, this type of irrational numbers.